everyone, Emma here. I was busy organizing my stuff to do a video, and I was like, why don't I just do the video? And this way you can see my process too. But so yesterday I worked on these lovely, if I can get some better light here, on these lovely snowflakes. The threads are everywhere. I didn't take the threads off because I haven't decided if I'm going to turn them into bracelets or earrings. So, and they're beautiful on both sides too. So they would definitely work well as earrings, because even if they spun around or were, you know, hung on the side kind of thing, you'd still see them. So I was interested in doing some different colors. Oh, and I also mentioned in the video or in some of the comments last night that I altered it. So here's the difference. The initial video shows this picot here with this triangle, and then this picot down here. What I did was I added all these picots around the edge, and I just found it finished it off a lot nicer. It kind of outlines the colors. So yeah, you can do that. And the other thing I want to do is I want to put a crystal in the middle. So I just haven't gotten to that because I love these so much that I think I'm going to use my Swarovskis in these and use these as gifts for my nieces. So yeah, if I use my Swarovskis, it has to be something special to use them up. So, and that brings me to the surprise that I forgot to tell you yesterday. So I was getting ready to place an order for some factory pack bicone, Swarovski bicones from Art Beads. And what they have right now is about 10% off. Actually, it's a little more than 10% off now that I think of it. So they had packs that they're about $10 to $15 off of their regular price. And I think the end price would have been $79 for one of the cheapest ones. So you can imagine it's a little more than 10%. Anyway, and then of course with Art Beads, you use a coupon code, so you would get another 5% off that. And if you've collected any art beater points, you can use that. Now I just sent an email to them to see if there's a way to use the coupon code, which is 5%, plus your beater rewards points. In the past, when I tried to do that, it would knock out the 5%. It looks like that's where you put in the coupon code, because what you do is there's a little bubble on the corner that says your art beater rewards, and you click on that, and then you click on how to redeem points, and it will show you what you have, and you can redeem it through there. But then what they do is they send you a coupon code in your email, and you use that coupon code. So all of that said, I have a bunch of reward points built up, but I place relatively large orders with them, so I'd like to be able to still get the 5% coupon code plus my art beater points. So we'll see what they say, and I'll let you know. The other thing I wanted to mention is they have a 48-hour flash sale, and I apologize, I find it hard to find when their sales started and end, but it's on right now. So if you're looking for Superduos, it's a flash sale on their Superduos. So definitely take a look. I just placed a big order with them, and I even ordered some of the gold-plated Superduos. I'm really excited. I thought I'd do a special gift to myself and then to my nieces as well. So I'm going to make them some gold-plated either jewelry or earrings or ornaments like this. So yeah, so there was that. But the announcement that I wanted to make yesterday, and when I reviewed the video last night in bed, I realized I didn't tell you. so I was getting ready to place an order with them for the factory packs, and I thought I should check and see if I can find some deals on factory pack Swarovski bicones. The first Google page I found at the very bottom, I found a website called Buy the Bead, and I'll put the link in this video. And I have a huge order coming from her. Her name is Peggy. She also has an eBay store, but basically the stuff that she has on her website is the same as what she has on eBay. She has a deal right now for free shipping after a certain amount. I can't remember how much. So yeah, definitely check it out. Her prices, they end up being 7 cents per bicone. Right now, I think the cheapest from Art Beads is about 12 cents. So it's definitely a good deal. So yeah, I placed a huge order. So that was the surprise. So hopefully it gets here quick. Who knows when it'll get here. So let's get started with this. So this is, like I said, this is the alteration that I did. And let's see. Yeah, so I think that looks really nice. And then this color. So today I'm going to do some more of these guys, but with different colorways. And I'm just getting ready. So I looked up a bunch of videos on different type of kind of star patterns, snowflake patterns, things like that. So I just found one. It's an image that I got off of Pinterest. So I'm going to see if I can do it. This one uses bicones. So you use, and I'm not sure, I'm just looking at the picture. I think I may need a bigger bicone. But we're going to use these. These are the 4mm crystal ones that I got from AliExpress. So you need 7, and then using 11O seed beads in between. And this is just the basic, let's move these guys out of the way. The basic, starting point that you use, where you put a seed bead and then a crystal or a bead, and do that all the way through. So put them all on there. And then we're going to create a circle with this. And like I said, this is, I am so new to this, but I'm super excited. I felt like, okay, so I'm not going to add another one there because this one will be it will loop around to be your first. And I didn't put a lot of thread on this time because I'm not, right now, oh, I almost put it all the way through. I'm not doing a bracelet at this point. And the other thing I found with making these guys, it's probably a better way to just do them, leave a bit of thread, and then attach them together at the end. I don't know. You guys let me know. Like I said, this is my first time doing it, so I have no clue. I'm clueless. So now we're going to do our little circle thing. So, oh, that's going to come off again. I'm feeling a lot better. I went to bed at a relatively decent hour last night. But I still have a terrible sinus and earache thing going on. But like I said, I have severe allergies, and they seem to be getting worse with age. And I think being in the pool for 3 weeks, I'm allergic to the chlorine. Even though I wear earplugs and a nose plug, you still swallow a lot of water, even though you spit it out. But so yeah, I'm still feeling a bit wonky today, but definitely a lot better. So thank you everybody for your kind words and thoughts. It's beautiful already. You see how fast I get excited? Woohoo! Oh man, I've always been like this, and when I was a kid, it was like I would get so excited at stuff like you know, in class or something like that, I'd be hooting and hollering when teacher would announce something special or whatever. People are like looking at me like, what is your problem? But can't help myself. Definitely now with age, I'm like, I don't care what people think. To a certain extent, you know, everybody has some concerns, insecurities, and I just can't get a hold of this. There we go. And I guess I should have left a longer tail because that's why I'm having a hard time making a knot. So let me see if I can do this again. Do a second knot. I don't know if that even worked. Let's see. Yeah, it seems to be okay. So I'm going to go through just to get rid of the tail here. And I mean, a lot of the videos and designs suggest doing, like, going through your work a second time. And I actually saw some stuff from Stephanie from, you know what? She probably has this one on her videos. So I just grabbed the first one and thought, okay, well, let's try to make this one. So maybe I will go through them just to be sure. So it's been raining and we're supposed to get, New Brunswick got like, I think over 30 centimeters, or they're supposed to tonight, over 30 centimeters of snow. Eek. They're inland a bit. Well, I guess they're on the Bay of Fundy. They get a lot of snow. Which, you know, I do cross-country skiing, so it's lovely to get snow all the time because you get fresh powder on top of the base of snow. But makes it hard getting to work and school and just life. You don't want to be shoveling snow all the time. Oh gosh, you know, I was just thinking of that. So I have to say, I was married before I met Jen. I met him in nursing school, and we got married. We actually both worked in North Carolina when we graduated. He was a nurse as well. And so the reason I tell this story is just thinking about shoveling snow. So when we still lived in Canada, there was a big snowstorm. So we shoveled the snow, but there was like these big snowbanks next to, like in the driveway. And we lived on a really busy street. So we used to drive into our driveway and then back out. So when you're backing out, sometimes you don't see the snowbank because it's white and low. But anyway, prior to this, I was at the grocery store and we had a huge like ice storm, and then they had plowed these massive mounds of snow everywhere. Okay, now I need to see. This is where I'm not sure where to add the next. This needs to go in a bit. I can see that thread. Okay, let me see. So we're going to create these peaks coming out of here, but in through here we need some 8/0s. I think we're going to do 8/0s and then start the Superduos. Let's see if that works. Okay, so let's start with this one. Let me move these guys down. Yeah, so I was at the grocery store with the car. We had the one car, and I went to go between two of these snowbanks, and I hit one of the snowbanks with the corner of the car. Didn't realize it was ice, and it had hardened, but then there was snow on top. So what happened was there was I just make sure. I think I need my Superduos as well. Let's do the light ones. So when I got out of the car to see what happened, I had dinged the corner of the wheel well. Pretty good, like it's, you know, definitely noticeable. So it was so funny. I called my girlfriend. I'm like, oh my God, Rita, what do I do? She's like, whatever you do, don't tell your husband. Can you imagine? I think of it now. I'm like, why did I listen to her advice? So I didn't tell him. So the day that we were actually getting ready to go skiing, and he's backing out of the driveway, and he hit the snowbank. So I'm like kind of thinking to myself, oh my gosh, this is the perfect opportunity to blame him for it. So he gets out, he's like, oh, I can't believe I hit it. I'm like, oh, that's terrible. So that looks, I think this is what I need to be doing, but I don't know if it will sit better. I think it needs to go in a little more, like, and that might be because these bicones should be a little bigger, and maybe I need a smaller 8-0. Like these 8-0s are kind of big and rounded, so I'm wondering, I have some nice 8-0s actually I put aside. So I have these, oh, those look big too. These ones. They're probably the same size. Oh. And these are all the same. Okay, let's just try this and we can fix it later. Okay, so that is, so now we'll just go around and add. Yeah, so he got out of the car and he was like, oh, and he's freaking out. I'm like, I couldn't believe it. Like, this is perfect. Couldn't have done a better job. That was so bad. But I think it's so funny. First of all, why am I calling my friend for advice? I'm an adult, right? Like, yeah, whatever you do, don't tell your husband. Let's see. Oh, okay. I was like, oh my God, I put it through the wrong hole. It's like, it was flipped. Well, this is looking pretty good. I wonder if I need to enlarge this a bit so you can see better what I'm doing. Okay, so let's go around, keep doing this. So I'm just picking up I probably should have put more thread now that this looks a little more in depth than the others. Okay, so 1 8-0 and then 2 Superduos of your main color. And actually they only have a main color in this image. So you could do like different layered, because you're going to put some Superduos in here as well, and it's going to create the point. Okay, I need another 8-0. Yeah. The things I did in my life, you guys would, I mean, you're already cracking up at some of the stories I tell you. It's so funny, my wife is a huge car buff, and so she takes care of, one, researching the cars we're going to buy, two, like dealing with the sales reps. That is hilarious. I should videotape it one time. her going to, so I was gonna say you can see my thread in the crystal, but you know what, I don't think it matters, so you might use a clear. When we go to buy a car, the poor sales reps don't know what hit them, because she knows all the cars, she knows all the new innovations in the cars, all the everything about the companies, you know, like their financial stuff, like the whole bit. She knows all that stuff. That's like, oh, again, this one flipped, so don't forget to flip them to the right way. There we go, so it fits better. So this is awesome. So yeah, the one time, like, we used to just buy what they call fleet buyback cars. So it's like car rental companies will get like a fleet of cars, and then when they're done with them, they will buy them back, the car dealerships. And so you can get a very well maintained vehicle, and depending on the mileage on it, pretty good for really, you know, really like 10 grand for a really good car. So that's like awesome. Now that cars are in the 30s, and even like the SUVs are in the 40 and 50 grand nowadays. Okay, so I was gonna, yeah, I do need to add another one. So I'm coming to the end here, or around. So so what I've been doing is going through these 11 O's. I'm just wondering if okay, so now I'm going to go to the next step, which means I'm going to go to these holes here. But let me see if I want to do a step up where you can kind of see your thread, because I could essentially go through this one, but I think it might be more secure to go through the little one. So let's do that. So yeah, we used to buy just a used car, and then recently, in the last time we bought, she bought a used sports car and I bought a brand new car. My first brand new car. It was pretty amazing, because I've always bought used cars. Okay, that is, you could totally leave this like this. This is beautiful. So you could do different variations of stuff. And, you know, you could maybe put like a little picot here, or a little picot here, or just some beads along here. So yeah, you can kind of use this as your base. And this way too, this only uses a few Superduos. So if you have a bunch of, like, I have a thing of multicolored ones that somebody gave me, and there's not enough to make one bracelet of a certain color. So this is a good way to use up some old colors and, you know, highlight it with your silver or your metallics and some nice crystals. So there, that's lovely. So let's continue on. So now I think what I'm going to do is step up by going through my 8-0 and my Superduo like this. And again, not sure if this is the right way to do this, but that's what we're doing today. So yeah, the one time we went to buy a used car, and so we were looking at a specific car, and I think we discussed the price, and it was in that $10,000 range. And so the next day we came back, and the funny part is the guys, it's usually guys selling these cars, they see two women and they think they're gonna pull one over the little ladies. And man, are they so wrong. So we went back the second day, and let me just start this. So I'm looking at the pattern, and it looks like they're putting a little 11-0 in here, and that might be because the Superduos don't fit, because the Superduos are going to sit at the top holes. Yeah, so you kind of need to fill that hole. So let's go ahead and do that. And then, so we need a fire polish to go in between these peaks. So you can do fire polish or crystal, I guess. Let's see what a crystal is going to look like there. So I have some of these. I wonder if how that would look. I can go back with blue as well. So we'll need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1. Here, let's landmark this one. Oh, you know what? These are too big. Okay. So now that I slid it in there, it's going to be way too big, and it's going to knock everything out of proportion. So let me see if I can grab either. I wonder if this one's smaller. Yeah, that one's better. I think I have some smaller ones. Just one sec. Okay, so I have a few options here. I have these opaque luster. They're really pretty, but they kind of disappear in this pattern, but once we get it done up, it might be better. And I also have these teeny tiny rondelles. I ordered them. I was all excited. I think there's like 1,500 of them. That's like, look at how tiny they are. I guess I can make a bracelet with all of these. I think it's too small. And then I have the clear AB one. And these are just the Chinese crystals. So this one, believe it or not, these ones show up a little more, but I kind of like the opaque one, so let's go with that one. I'll slide those out of the way. It looks like I need 7 of these, so let's grab it. And yeah, so we went back the second day after talking to this guy, and at this point we were, you know, pretty sure we're going to buy that vehicle. But then the haggling started. And this was early on in my relationship with my wife. So I totally didn't know this about her. I mean, she's very assertive, and she does her homework, and something just popped here. It got loose. I wonder if my knot came out. Though I think it will be reinforced once we get in there. I'll just have to be careful not to pull too tight. Yeah, so the haggling started, and she was like, well, you know, what do we need? And she's using their lines. What do we need to make this deal happen? Oh my gosh, it was so funny. So, I can't remember how much she basically got that car. I think he lost his commission, first of all. And she got the car for probably cost of what they got it for. Now, I mean, it's hard to say because they get these at auction for so dirt cheap. So some are today. This is getting really loose. I think I'm going to go through it again just to be sure that I didn't mess things up. Okay. Yeah, so we left the lot with that car, and the guy was just about crying. You could see him in the parking lot. I think he even said, "Don't come back." Oh my gosh, it was so funny. It's so funny. I'm trying to come above this 8-0. I'll have to be careful not to pull it too tight because I notice you see what's happening, how it gets like wonky, and I think that might be these bicones are a little too big, but oh my god, they look amazing. So another bicone. Probably by the time I get to the end, there won't be any room to put another bicone. So yeah. And then the funny thing is the sports car that she bought, it was a buyback, and what happened was the woman bought it, and then within 6 months she was pregnant, so she needed a car, that could fit a car seat. So they just wanted that car off their lot, but the dealership that she saw that car at, they were amazing. They were so much fun, so nice, so upfront, totally different approach to the old style car salesman. It's a bunch of young guys, and it was all about, let's get the best deal for our customer, and it's really turning out amazing. Okay, bicone. So I pulled one of those one time with my sister Sylvia. We were, it was my dad's birthday, and my parents lived with my sister. They had like a basement apartment. So yeah, it's getting a bit tight, so you might want to try a tiny fire polished in that spot, because these are kind of getting wonky. I'm hoping they'll settle down once I reinforce this. So they had an old tube TV, and I don't know if we must have gone to the store just to get a birthday gift for him. So we ended up, I had an idea about buying a TV, a brand new TV for him. And so we were at, I'm trying to think, Best Buy, one of those stores. And so they had a TV that was like a display model, so you get like about $100 off or something like that. This was before flat screen TVs were super affordable. I'm trying to pull this flat, but it's not working. Oh my god, this is looking amazing already. Let me see, I feel like my light is not in the right position here. That's a little better. Okay, so now we are going to go into these top beads and add our Superduos. And I'm looking, they also, when we add those into there, they're adding a kind of picot to each edge of those. But I think we'll put the picots on when we add the final one sticking out. So I think at this point we can go ahead and add the others. So let's see where I'm at here. So let's do one here. I'm guessing they're going back down into, I'm just... We must have to step up and down throughout this. Let me see. Yeah, so I need to go through this hole like this. That. But then we have to... Oh, did I go through... I didn't mean to go through that. Yeah, so we got a TV that was on the display model. And when we got it home, my parents were out, so we wanted to set it up. We set it up, and the remote didn't work. So we went back to the store and said, you know, this remote doesn't belong to this TV. So they're like, oh, it was a display model, it's lost. Then it was a young guy. He's like, let me give you 10% off one of our regular remotes. I'm like, no, I bought a TV. I need a remote. You give me a remote that comes with the TV. If you can't give me one that comes with the TV, you figure it out and, you know, put one in the box. I'm not paying extra for a remote. Like, you can't work the TV without the remote. And it was a flat screen, so that was the idea, getting my dad a flat screen TV. He'd never had a flat screen TV. So, you know what? I need to go through those holes. So I think that's why they're doing the picot. But they're doing the picot in the second one. How do I get through? I'm just checking to make sure. I think what I have to do is stay within the unit. So I may have to put my line on the outside here. Let's go back. And that's, I was going to say that's why they're doing the picot, to hide your thread, but I don't know. So let's go through here and try that. So he was like arguing with me. I said, listen, let me talk to your manager. And I was being nice about it. I wasn't like yelling at him or anything. And my sister was like, oh, so the manager comes over. And my sister, I have to point out, my sister doesn't like confrontation. She's like, oh, let's just go, right? I'm like, no, I'm going to talk to the manager. So the manager comes and I explain, you know, what the deal is. He's like, absolutely, whatever. Oh, while we were waiting for the manager, we go down the aisle, we start looking at TVs. And I said to her, there was a TV that was like $200 more than what the one that we paid for. So I said, I'm going to ask the manager if he can give me $100 off of this TV, and we'll do the exchange, right? And it's a brand new TV out of the box. So the manager comes and I explained what the deal is. And he's like, yeah, absolutely, no problem. Let's get that done. So, but the whole time my sister's behind me, like, going, let's just go. I'm like, no, we're getting this TV for Daddy. Oh my God, it was so funny. So I joke about it, say I pulled a Jen. And then, so we get out in the parking lot and she says to me, she goes, oh my gosh, Emma, I couldn't believe how well you handled that and got that deal. She said, you know, I pay full price for everything. I'm like, no, you got to ask. They don't care. They have a certain authority to give a certain % off, so it's not a big deal. Just got to ask, and if you do it in a nice way, then they usually accommodate you. And then I told her about my wife's car buying situation, and she's like, man, I want you to come shopping with me. She lives in another town, so you know, that story, I have to say too, we got the TV out of the box, set up everything, and my parents came home, and my dad saw the TV, and he was crying. Now, I have to say my dad cries at everything, so it's not that unusual. Okay, I'm thinking, what did I do here? I went through here and through the lower hole instead of the upper hole. So that's what I'm doing to get into the upper hole. So I'll show you. Okay, so I went through the bicone, and then I go through the upper hole. So you actually don't see your thread all that much, so it's not too bad. And then you're ready for your 2. So through the top hole of the Superduo, through your crystal, and through the top hole of the next set, like that. So yeah, when he saw the TV, he was crying, and we're like, why are you crying? You're supposed to be happy. And he was like, so yeah, you can see how those bicones are too big for this. Okay, well, we'll do another one of these, and we'll do with the smaller, because you can see how it's all getting wonky. He's like, I never thought I would own a flat screen TV. Oh my gosh, I was just so touched and sad at the same time. He's worked hard his whole life, and to think that simple thing could please him so much. But yeah, my dad, I mean, we joke he was a crybaby, because you totally couldn't get him a card for any occasion, because he would cry as soon as he opened the cards. Yeah, he was so sentimental. He was a sweetheart. He passed away a couple of years ago. Yeah. Okay, so I think if I were going to start this again, I would make sure I started in the middle thing, because now we're gonna. So I wonder now if I can, let's flip this the right way. Okay, so there's our starting to show up. Okay, now we have to step up into, and that's probably, and this is where they're doing, yeah, that's why they're doing the seed beads. So, doing like a little picot. I think I'll use some 50 for that. So let me get those out. So yeah, definitely check out the Art Beads Superduo sale, flash sale. I mean, they're still, I think it's only 25% off. The prices are still, in my opinion, too expensive for what these are. And maybe that's just me being cheap. So I am going to pick up 3 50 no's, and then I'm going to go through, let's grab that. So I'm going to go through that top hole. So you're stepping up, and your 50 no's are, there you go, are hiding your thread. So that's good. So let's do, so now we need one of these. Oops, just one. And then we're going to go through here. I'm just going to have enough thread. This is loose, eh? I wonder if my thread is messed up. Okay, so we need 3 50 no's. And I'm gonna try and do, like, normally I would come down and go up to the next one, but I feel like this is where I lost my thread. So I think I'm going to see if I can secure that. So let's look at the back side where I'm at here. Okay, let's go through here. Let's do this. I'm getting ready. I didn't secure my thread like I said I would. I'm kind of out of thread. So much for putting a smaller strand on, but I'll go through and reinforce it after. So it's beautiful. Okay, so now go through. I wonder if I should have gone the other way. Let me turn this. Let's try this. I'm probably doing extra steps that I don't need to, but it's because I don't have a clear path. Let's try this. Okay, 50 nose. Yeah, look, I'm almost out. Darn it. I was not thinking. So we did, you know, the biggest purchases you'll make in your life is your car and your house. So another area that we did well on is our house. And we just lucked out in the sense that it was an estate sale. I'm trying to decide where. Oh, yeah, I've got them. So I need to go through here. I'm not sure where I'm coming through. Okay, let's try that. Oh, look at really pretty. Yeah, so we lucked out with our house because it was an estate sale, but we were lucky too, the guy it was an open house, so the real estate agent was up front with us about it being an estate sale, and that and I don't know if he's supposed to do this, but I won't give his name. He basically told us that there had been 2 other serious bids for slumlords. And funny enough, we live in a kind of small town off of a bigger town. And so some people refer to it as the country. So it's kind of funny that you would have slumlords here. But believe it or not, we get a lot of, I mentioned the other day about we're right by the Air Force Base. So what we get is we get Air Force families that are only here for a couple of years, so they'll either rent the house or they'll buy it and we see a lot of turnover, but then they sell within a week. So let me through there. Let's go through these guys. There we go. So he said that there had been two slumlords that had put bids in and both got declined, and he told us what those bids were, and that the most you could get from a trustee would be $5,000 off the list price. So that's what we put our offer in for, and we got it. So we were lucky. And then, so the lady had passed away, so the house had been abandoned for 3 years. So like all the electricity and water had been turned off. So when they went to do the inspection, they were going to do it without turning the water on. And I was like, no, call them back, make sure they know. You can't do an inspection without the water. I mean, that's a no-brainer. So they turn the water on and we get a call from the real estate agent. There was a leak, and it leaked from the second floor into the ceiling in the dining. Well, he said they couldn't find the leak, so he had to call a plumber. They couldn't find the leak. They put a hole in the kitchen ceiling, and then they put a hole in the and that wasn't it. So then they put a hole in the living room ceiling and found it and fixed it. So now we had 2 holes in the ceiling. So he's like, I have to get back to the trustee. And basically the trustee just looks at the numbers and says, okay, we can have it fixed and painted. Now, like I said, the house had been abandoned, so it needed to be painted like throughout. So we offered to take a discount and we would fix it ourselves. So that's what we did. So we got another, I think it was $1,000 off. It's like $1,000 in my pocket for some drywall and painting. Sounds good to me. More beads. So I'm almost done, and we can put like a loop on this, but I think what I'll do is I'll just leave this one and we'll move on to the next one. Oh wait, I still have quite a few. I was like getting all excited because I don't have enough thread. Okay, what did I do wrong on this one? Oh, I need to go through here, through here. So I got really good at drywalling. It's like icing a cake with a whole lot of dust. And you know what's funny? The joists were all wonky, so it was really hard to get like unless you cut a huge section of drywall out and make the hole bigger, and I wasn't about to do that. So I was just fitting in, like straightening the cut that they had made, and figured I'd go in and just fix it as best as I could. Well, the joists were crooked, so the drywall sheet was not sitting properly. So I'm like, well, I'll just, load up the trowel and get it smooth as possible. So there's some lines of wonkiness. Now remember, one of the neighbors came over, we were showing the work that we had done. He's like, oh, you can really see that. Like, I'm so like stuff like that drives me nuts. So I'm thinking, oh God, I gotta fix that. Now I look at it, I'm like, that's my work. Who cares? How often do you look up at your ceiling? You're looking at your ceiling, you got a boring life. So, and it's like barely tell. So this is, you know what, I should end this thread right now and put some more. So let me pause this. Oh, actually, this video is almost done. So yeah, let me pause it. I'll finish it up and show you, and we'll move on to the next video. Okay. Okay, so I am pretty much done. Again, I haven't decided what I'm going to do with these guys, so I'm going to leave this thread on and move on to the next one in the different colorways. So I was hoping to get a bunch of colorways done, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to post this video now so you can see this and the finished ones from yesterday, as well as get the information about the art bead sale and take care of that. And in the meantime, I'm going to move on to the next one, and I'll just keep doing videos of variations of these guys, and hopefully I'll get to some different colors. My color palette is limited to blues like these, and I have some pinks and metallics. The rest are all kind of Picasso colors. I'm not sure how they would turn out for something like this, but yeah, so we'll just keep having fun, and I am hoping to get to the 2-hole bead stuff that I have on my desk here, and I have these. I should give you a sneak peek of what I was talking about yesterday about making these lovely earrings with these gorgeous, I think these are 12mm pearls that I got at Michael's. I'll show you the strand, part of the strand. So they come on these strands. There was double these beads here, so I've taken a whole bunch of them and created these. This is how easy it is. It's like one bead, one spacer, one drop, teardrop crystal, and then we're gonna wrap these and put them on. And then I'll show you, let's try this one here. Then there's this one for smaller earrings, and these are the teardrop, the 7x5s, I think, crystals, and the spacers, and then the 3x5s on top. So yeah, we're going to make a bunch of earrings, and you can give them as gifts or wear them yourself. That'd be really cool. They're so simple to make. Yeah, so hang in there. There's going to be lots of videos coming in the next little while. Thank you, everybody, and have fun doing this stuff. You know, normally I don't like to wish the snow here, but let's make some snowflakes. They're so cute and pretty and fast and easy. So this one's a little big. I know some people like big earrings, but if you had smaller crystals, you might be able to do a smaller one for an earring. But this would be nice as a brooch. You could put a Rivoli, or Rivoli. Yeah, Rivoli. Let me see where mine are here. Oh, they're right at the bottom of the pile, of course. Let's see. I'll try a smaller one. Ish. So instead of doing this, or we could bezel it, we could do this. Oh my gosh. Look at this. Let me see if it can slide in the back. Yeah, I think you could bezel this with the seed beads around and then add this to the outside. Okay, let's set it down and look at it that way. That would be beautiful. Yeah, so there's all kinds of fun stuff you can do with it. So thanks again, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.